Coming up on Look Today, the Saratoga Springs Police Department sees an undisclosed amount of heroin and fentanyl at a Saratoga residence. I've got details. And Friends of Recovery work on eliminating the stigma of addiction. More on that coming up. And SPAC presents a 5th grade dance residency. I've got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Tonight's program I sit down with Lisa Nichols. Now she's a vice president of Saratoga Springs Rotary and she's here to talk about the upcoming house show event that's happening March 3rd to the 5th in Saratoga. I also sit down with Dr. Joy Lucas. She's a veterinarian for Upstate Animal Medical Center and we're joined by Catherine McCarthy. She's a senior regional director for the American Heart Association, and they're here to talk about a unique story involving heart disease as well as the Capital Region Heart Ball, and that's happening on February 25th. Plus we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, after Saratoga Springs police officers executed a search warrant at 16 Cherry Street in Saratoga on Friday, an undisclosed amount of heroin and fentanyl was found. The residents of the home are under investigation. Now, we were in contact with the police department today to gather more details. Now, although Saratoga Springs is a relatively safe place to live, the epidemic still affects every community here. Now, according to Janine Stuchin from the Prevention Council, Saratoga County's numbers on heroin abuse, believe it or not, are on par with other communities in the Capital Region. Well, we spoke to her about some of the statistics in Saratoga County.
In 2013, the emergency EMS services identified 5 times a week they were interacting with people who had non-fatal overdoses. Now in 2017, we're up to 30 people a week in Saratoga County dealing with a non-fatal overdose. So that's indicative of the real stronghold that it has here. Again, not any much higher or lower than our surrounding counties, but clearly an emergency for all of our communities.
Wow. Well, as you know, we're all over this topic and we'll continue to bring you updates. For example, in other news, continuing our discussion on this topic, a grassroots organization called the Friends of Recovery held an event over the weekend at the Aviation Mall in Queensbury. Now, the reason is to eliminate the stigma of addiction. The event was designed to inform the public about resources available to those who are struggling with addiction. Now, they're creating a dialogue with the community about how addiction is a disease and not a crime. This is really important. We spoke to Ashley Livingston. She's a co-chair of the Friends of Recovery.
This was the second one we've done, and it's really about kind of being in the forefront and making recovery the norm. And we also wanted to offer our community members a place where they can come and they can get resources, because everybody goes to the mall. So, if they can just stop and maybe they have a loved one, maybe they're struggling and they don't know where to go. We had all kinds of resources. We want people to be aware of what kind of prevention, treatment, and recovery services are available in our community.
Now, we have invited Ashley to come on for an interview. We'll let you know when that takes place. Switching from news to weather. After a big snowstorm, the skies have cleared. Temperatures are now in the 30s. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. As we jump into our first look weather center, well, it's been an interesting weekend. We saw plenty of heavy snowfall across much of the region. Some spots picking up between 10 to 20 inches of snowfall over the past 4 to 5 afternoons. We're seeing high pressure ridging in right now. Still the cold north wind, though, behind that low pressure area that's just now exiting off the coastline. That's going to mean we're going to see an exit of those snow showers, maybe just a few flurries left behind. Definitely cold enough. Temperatures will plunge back down into the teens and even single digits across much of the region. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s, so gradually warming as you head further back off to the south. But here across the Tri-North counties, it's going to be bitterly cold tonight. 7 degrees the morning low. The good news is those winds died down by daybreak, so that should be with the wind chill factored in, maybe 6 or 5 degrees, but not getting much colder. Not that it really makes a difference. It'll be extremely cold for the daytime hours tomorrow, only warming back up to about 31, so at least that's some good news. Near freezing by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies as we head out the door. Temperatures in the single digits for many of us. We're going to see partly sunny skies, some very dry weather, a very cold morning. And as we take a look at the extended forecast right now, we're going to see temperatures coming up briefly on Wednesday, high 37. Still a chance at a few snow showers rejoining us by the midweek, but it should just be that. Some light snow showers. No real accumulation is expected, but as we head back into the weekend, still looking cold with morning lows in the teens. The sunshine taking us through the afternoons. Otherwise, a pretty cold week of weather lays ahead, especially for the overnight hours. Well, that's it from the Weather Center. Now back to you, Jesse.
Bran, welcome to the heart of winter. All right, back to the news. Here's some good news. Saratoga Performing Arts Center presents the 5th grade dance residency at the Malta Elementary School in Ballston Spa. Now, as part of the deepening commitment to youth arts education, SPAC has launched its first public school dance residency. Now, we were at the event today, and we'll have a full story on this tomorrow. All right, up next, I sit down with Lisa Nichols. She's a vice president of Saratoga Springs Rotary, and she's here to talk about the upcoming home show event that's happening March 3rd to March 5th here in Saratoga City Center. Plus, I also sit down with Dr. Joy Lucas. She's a veterinarian for the Upstate Animal Medical Center, and joined by Catherine McCarthy. She's a senior regional director for the American Heart Association, and they're here to talk about a unique story involving heart disease, as well as a Capital Region Heart Ball that's happening on February 25th. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Monday, so it's Look Ahead. We will be covering that SPAC school recital today. We'll have a full report on that tomorrow. That's a fun one. Lieutenant Governor Hochul will be at SUNY Adirondack, and we'll be covering that. She's there to talk about free tuition, that proposal. So we'll make sure we get her and also Ms. Duffy. Garland Nelson will be in this week, talk about Black History Month. We're excited about that. Joe Dalton, a fixture in Saratoga, the head of the chamber for many, many years, will also be a guest this week to talk about the city charter from the other side. And also Hometown versus Heroin. That's an event that's happening at BOCES in Hudson Falls this week, and we'll keep you posted on that, and we're going to be covering that also. Okay, that's all the time we got. Tonight on Look TV, it's Beyond the Headlines and Tracks. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.